This is the Valerian Vision Master Pro 2, and it's not just some, hey look, it's a 4K box. This is a full-blown cinematic grade RGB laser projector, and today I'm showing you why it's blowing my mind and could change your home theater forever. Now this video is sponsored by Valerian, but I am treating this just like I do any other review video, so you will get my honest thoughts and my criticisms as you do in every other video. Oh, and there is a Prime Day deal that saves you over $500 on this thing, so stick around for that. Valerian is a premium sub-brand of AWOL Vision or AWOL Vision. Think of it like the AMG of home projectors. The Vision Master Pro 2 is targeting a very specific group, people who want cinema-grade visuals without spending $6,000. It runs on Google TV. It has 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage with smooth navigation, voice control, smart app access. It's all here. This goes beyond just being a projector. It's a full-blown smart entertainment hub. Now here's where things get real. EBL or Enhanced Black Level. This is Valerian's industry-first tech that gives you true blacks. Not dark gray that will pretend is black, it's real blacks. You know when you're watching a space scene and the blacks just feel kind of flat? Well, with EBL turned on, the difference is staggering. It's like someone wiped the lenses on your glasses and said, now you can see. This isn't just a spec, it changes how immersive the movie feels, and this is what sets this projector apart from any of the other projectors out there, many of which I've reviewed on this channel. It's the same reason that OLED TVs look so much better than LCD TVs. The black levels are truly black. You're looking at 3000 ISO lumens here, plenty bright for daytime use in a light controlled room. And that's the key here, light controlled room, because if it's just a blown out super bright room, it's still going to be washed out just like any other projector. This, however, blows away any other projector that I've tested by a significant margin. But the punch comes from the dynamic tone mapping. Normally this is found on $6,000 projectors. Dynamic tone mapping, or DTM, means real-time HDR that keeps bright highlights detailed and shadows rich. I tested this with a handful of movies and some Netflix shows, and the image just glows. It's certified for 110% of Rec 2020 and ISF calibration, so color accuracy is no joke. Just for comparison, for those who don't know, most OLED TVs only get up to maybe 90% of that Rec 2020. So at least on paper, in the stats, this is better than that. The Pro 2 supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, IMAX Enhanced, Filmmaker mode, 24 FPS, 48 FPS, and even active 3D. Yes, 3D in 2025. Now, I threw up a 100-inch screen that I just picked up locally from a Best Buy, dimmed the lights, hit the play, and I mean, you guys are seeing it now. It's hard to really capture this on a camera because it looks so much better in person, but I felt like I was in a private screening room. And if you've got the space, you can go up to a 300-inch projection, which is absolutely ludicrous in the best way possible. Now for gaming, you're looking at 4 millisecond input lag at 1080p and 240 Hz. The responsiveness is shockingly good. Now this projector can do 4K at up to 60 Hz. It doesn't do 4K 120. The chipset inside doesn't allow it to do so, but still you get the big screen immersion on the majority of games out there without that nasty lag that we usually associate with these kinds of setups. It's more than playable, it's fast, it's quite good. You've also got optical zoom with no resolution loss, which is a huge thing, autofocus, keystone correction, screen fit, even obstacle avoidance. Plus you get voice control via Google Alexa and Apple HomeKit, and casting via AirPlay 2. You can do Chromecast and more. This thing really does everything for a home movie setup except make your popcorn. Now you might be wondering, how does this stack up to other projectors in the $2,000 to $4,000 price range? Let's just say it's quite solid. I own an OLED TV, or a QD OLED as they call them nowadays, and I got it for Christmas this last year, and one of the reasons that I waited so long to get one was I was worried about the brightness levels in our living room, which has a ton of windows. But what I've learned is that being able to see real blacks, that is not just grays in those dark scenes, and seeing real contrast levels with the wide dynamic colors of an OLED more than make up for any loss in overall brightness. And that's really what you get with the Valerian Pro 2. You get very deep blacks with that EBL enabled. It looks like there is no output at all from the lasers to the dark areas that are on the screen. They just somehow magically turn those off. And this combined with the super bright 3000 lumen output and 110% of BT 2020 make for an experience. I've reviewed 3 or 4 other projector TVs on this channel, and while they are all impressive, this is the one that made me say wow with a big grin on my face more times than really all of the others did combined. And I thought this was because this projector was 3000 lumens, which is about twice as bright as the others that I've tested so far. But it really has to do with those black levels. This is very much, again, like that difference between a very good LCD TV and a very good OLED TV. The OLED is just kind of on another level. With some of these deals that I'll mention at the end, it means you can get this down to about the $2,500 level. And at that point, this is a bargain compared to other flagship projectors that feel downright cheap and plasticky by comparison. There are 2 built-in speakers. They are good, not excellent, but quite good. It's the best that I've tested on a projector, and I'm sure that the size helps with that. But again, I've only tested a handful of these, so there may be better ones out there. I don't know. What I will say is that the fan noise is non-existent with this projector. The heat dissipation control is very good, and that's a good thing because in a lot of situations, this will probably be sitting right in front of you, very close by, like on a coffee table in front of you, for example, and you don't want to hear fan noise when you're enjoying your movie. Now, is this projector as perfect as my wife? Well, no. There are a few things that I noticed that I'm going to call just annoyances. First is the remote. It's on the bigger side, it's made of good materials, it's not milled from a single piece of aluminum like it could be, but it is big for what could be scaled down. I suppose this could be a positive because I've had to put an AirTag on my Apple TV remote at home because it spends more time being lost than actually used. Second, this remote is IR or infrared, which means you have to point it to the projector, specifically the rear of the projector, and that is frustrating even when it is right in front of you. I can imagine how much worse that would be if you mounted it upside down in the back corner of a room. It would be not so much fun. Third, the autocorrection isn't as responsive as some of the other projector TVs that I've reviewed, and it isn't nearly as perfect. It seems like it takes a little bit longer and makes a mistake here and there more often. However, it was never frustrating to the point where I had to go in and manually change everything. It eventually figured it out, but sometimes it would take 30 seconds to 40 seconds to do it versus some of the other projectors maybe do it in 20 to 30 seconds. The obstacle avoidance is not as good either, and there's no pet or child eye protection. So if you walk right in front of this projector, you will get blasted with 3000 lumens of lasers. So be careful. The optical zoom is a great feature I've mentioned because it means you are not losing any resolution as you do with some projectors that do digital zoom. Fourth, it's a pretty heavy and large box. There's a lot packed in here, but it's not the most portable projector I've ever reviewed. That being said, the case is really nice and it makes traveling with it a little bit easier, and it has a little built-in kickstand. So if you don't want to get the gimbal mount, which is extra money and takes up more space, you can just use that. The last thing I'll say is, as wonderful as the colors and the black levels are, if you are in a super bright room and you can't close your windows, that is having light control, you will still get washed out colors and brightness that isn't fully enough. This is a projector, and just like any other, really it needs a full and complete dark room to operate at 100% and to show you what it is capable of. But when you do have it in a room that is set up correctly and you have it, let's say, in a home movie theater, it gives you that home movie theater experience that you really can't match with any other TV unless you're going to spend $20,000 or more. I mean, Google the price of a 120-inch TV just to give yourself some reference point. And I guess that's where this projector really puts itself. It really is designed for the more prosumer crowd, the people that are trying to get cinema grade color accuracy, high quality in their home movie theater on a budget. It's kind of like having a Sony FX6. It's bigger, slightly more challenging to use than something like an A6000, but all the more rewarding with numerous advantages. It's just designed for a more professional workflow crowd. For Prime Day, you can get the Vision Master Pro 2 at 15% off. If you want a true cinema experience at home and you don't want to spend that $6,000 or more with Pro installation, this is really one of the best options out there. So definitely check it out. The Pro 2 really nails the essentials, the contrast, black level, sharpness, and smart features. This is a very premium feeling product, and for my first time ever handling one of their products, it's pretty impressive. I look forward to seeing what they come out with next. Now, links and discount codes and all of that information will be down in the description. If this helped you out, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what is the first movie that you would watch on your own Vision Master Pro 2. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.